So what's up guys, Alexa here. So I'm here in LA and I've been here for a few weeks now. And in this video I just wanted to talk about especially finding peace, balance, harmony and discovering yourself and stuff like that. Um so when it comes to getting on the road of self-discovery, you kinda have to be in the mindset of being able to let go or start to let go of a lot of things in your life, and you have to really come to be able to be comfortable in solitude without other people bothering you all the time, and just finding this if you want to find inner peace and everything else and really discover your true self and what you're meant to do in life, and if you want to find God, etc., you're really gonna have to take time for yourself and spend time alone. You can't really be around people constantly, especially if they're not good people. Um, and you never know if somebody's actually being good. If you're used to bad behavior as well from people, then you might have a lot of problems with people just because of the fact that there's a lot of people who act nice in a fake way, and that might make you feel like these people are actually good people. I've had that in my life, and I'm sure a lot of other people know that, everybody can act nice up front, behaviorally, but whether they're actually nice inside and they're not scheming or something against you, that's another thing. And that's why you kind of have to take time to self-reflect and look at the relationships in your life and really start self-discovering. And once you actually spend time and self-discover yourself, you actually figure out what you tolerate, what boundaries you want to set, and what's important to you in your life. And finding God is pretty essential in that, as God exists, and you can't really be without God, because if you try that, then you're only going to find darkness in your life, and you're probably just going to be around a bunch of dark people, unconsciously so, because you're not going to be able to find peace by yourself. I don't think that's really possible. And that's kind of the problem with society is people don't really know God, and people don't know themselves at all, and this is kind of the situation we just happen to be at right now. And yeah, you really have to go out, spend time in nature, seek peace within yourself, seek to understand yourself, seek to understand what are dark things in your mind, what are the good things about you and bad things about you. Really look at yourself from a real standpoint, that you really have to go deep within yourself. This is where God helps, and developing your mind, body and spirit is very essential, because if you actually want to be able to have a good life, you need mind, body and spirit to be aligned. I've talked about this a little bit before. To really understand yourself fully and to be healthy completely. I don't think you can really love one part, because one part is going to bother you and it's going to hinder you and give you issues. At least I find I'm not content just with if I had an unhealthy body, I wouldn't be content. It would cause basically issues in my mind and spirit. On the other hand, if my spirit isn't good, then the other things are gonna suffer, and it's vice versa mindset as well. So it's just you kind of need everything together to really achieve a true balance in your life and to feel at peace. Basically, you can't have things, in a sense, very consciously or unconsciously in your subconscious when something's wrong with you, or your mind and intuition will tell you you need to fix this, and you need to maybe you want to go after your dreams, maybe you want a better body, maybe you want a better mindset, maybe you want better spirituality, maybe you want whatever it is that's better for you. Your intuition inherently tells you, but a lot of people ignore their intuition, which is that's number one key also in self-discovery, is just having intuition and listening to yourself, because your intuition will tell you a lot of the things you should be seeking, but a lot of people just ignore it, and they do what society tells them to do mostly, and they don't really listen to what they actually should be doing. You almost you could say we almost suppress ourselves a lot. You only really notice it once you actually start listening to your intuition, when you should work, when you're feeling bad, when you should be resting and rejuvenating, when you should be eating healthy, when you're eating bad, when you should be exercising. The reason your intuition is telling you to do all these things is you should have a healthier body, etc., is because it's good for you, and your mind, in a sense, intuition, which you would say spirituality is included in this. It tells you straight up like what you should be doing pretty much at all times. Maybe you won't be 100% perfect all the time, but like you can get to a point where you're doing a lot of good stuff. Like maybe you're like 80% or something on point, or a bit more, depends. I'm still discovering myself as well and improving my intuition, but that's like the goal here. Is like listen to yourself, really go deep into your own thoughts, and spend time and reflect in solitude about yourself and your life and where you're at, because you can't discover yourself if you don't do that. I think a lot of us, to be honest, don't really do a lot of inner work because it hurts and change hurts, and thinking about yourself in a negative way, in a sense like what are your negative sides, and what are your positive sides. That's hard. It's very hard for people to look at these things. People just want to kind of save face and be in this like fake reality because it's easier, just enjoy like whatever bad food or lunching around being lazy, etc., because it's easier. But the thing is, like, once you actually are able to change and become your true self and self-discover yourself, you're gonna feel way better than you would have ever felt in the other state, in my opinion. Yeah, it requires work, but you're never gonna feel actually good. You're just gonna temporarily feel okay, but you're not gonna feel actually good in the long term. And yeah, I really think you should look into yourself, work on these traits. And this also allows you to kind of find a balance in your life of everything, just like I mentioned, the work and rest. And this also allows you to really find what you're passionate about and work on that. And kind of not be hindered by everything that's an outside source in this world trying to stop you or something. And there's a lot of hindrances, I think, in our lives, depending on your circumstances, where people might try to even stop you from changing because they don't want you to change because you're somehow precious to them or something like this, which is also what I experienced with my family and everything. And maybe old friends, and people kind of try to hold you back, like very unconsciously, you could say, like not maybe consciously, but it happens very unconsciously. They kind of like keep you down where they're at. It's in like a crabs in a bucket type scenario. And this is what a lot of people do, is just hold you back. So you have to really concern with who you surround yourself with and where you happen to be, and is this environment right for you, are these people right for you? Most of the time, a lot of times, if you actually want to discover your higher self, then it's not the case. The people around you are usually not the people you actually want around you if you actually have some kind of aspiration in your life and you want to be better. And a lot of times the environment might or might not be good where you're in. It kind of depends on your scenario and where you live, what you want to achieve, what opportunities you want to have, and so on. So I hope this video helps. This was kind of talking about self-discovery and how to get into it and so on. I think this is probably the most key aspect when it comes to like trying to know yourself and really getting on the right track. So when it comes to self-discovery, you really should listen to your intuition. Try to find within yourself like peace of mind. If you can't find that peace of mind, then there's something wrong. And you're probably lacking God, you're probably wrong in your health or your mindset. And you need to check where you really happen to be, as I said, and find the things that are suitable within your life. And then once you have those things correct, you can really start to discover your true self. I've had to spend a lot of time by myself, and I've spent technically already like years by myself. That's kind of like true preference as well. It's just like finding a lot of things I'm passionate about and discovering my own mind, overcoming my own struggles with any dark issues that I had and like past people and scenarios and everything else, environments. And if you really want to get to that point, you have to go through pain and change, and it hurts, no doubt. I'd recommend checking out my testimony video as well. I also explained a lot of my stuff live and some other past videos as well I made recently. And I think there's a lot of like issues we all have in different scenarios. We all have our issues to deal with, and we all have like different circumstances, of course, to go through. Some might have it worse, some less. Um, and everybody has different unique paths that you can't really copy anybody else, and you can't really like copy me. You can't copy any other influencer or creator you like on their life path, because that's their path, and you have your own path and your own passions and quirks and whatever personality, emotional states, whatever your like inherent like caliber is. Maybe you don't know how to read or something, or write properly, or you have some issue like that with health or mind. So it really depends like what kind of person you are, and in a sense like you have to kind of find out your own strengths and use those to your advantage and work with that to achieve your dreams, and whatever that dream for you is, of course, yours. And that's different for everybody else. I think everybody kind of to an extent wants the same things, in a sense, like being able to be free and happy and all that, joyous in life. But to be able to get to that state, you need to have a lot of things in check in your life and like rediscover yourself, because I don't think you're gonna be able to kind of just achieve that without God on your own, as well as like just lacking in many areas of your mindset and physical side in your life, like your body and your overall health, and how you're really watch like what are you consuming, content, eating, how much time are you spending there, what's your screen times, and things like these, like really small stuff even. There's a lot of things that encompass your like whole self if you want to be like more, have a better life and be a more perfect human. So like if you wanna really get to even where I'm at right now, and I still improve, then I think honestly you need to spend eventually like months or even years sometimes alone. A lot of people are on that path, and I've seen other people who have spent years alone. And that's kind of the path you need to take if you really want to like stand out in your life and be different for everybody else, like in a good way, where it's like you're not constrained by everybody else and people aren't trying to limit you and put you down. If you really want to be happy, a lot of times it might require you to sacrifice a lot in your life. And that's just the facts, and you're gonna go through struggles and ups and downs, and that's just life. And you know, we all have emotions and so on. But you kind of need to sometimes take a bigger picture version of yourself and kind of look at it from a bigger picture of life. When you find yourself in those moments, and when you remember to ground yourself and spend time in nature, rest, notice when you're feeling weird. Like when you're feeling like negative, you really need to take time and like reflect like why that is, and I think spirituality is the only thing that can really help you there. Seeking God. But like you really need to spend time with yourself. Figure out when you're doing this wrong and when you aren't doing this wrong. But I hope this helps, and on your self-discovery journey. Thank you for watching the video. God bless. As always, bye.